Good evening. Good night. Good afternoon. Good morning worldwide. When you get there, the man when afraid. Man of the wilderness. Keep it real and honest for you, no tab like Bagua. Big up, big up. Warren, me see you know. Yeah, man. Warren. Yeah, me say both Warren. Yeah, see Warren, both Warren, me see. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Boland, me see you, yes. Yeah, direct. Bless up. Merrick. Muriel King, big up yourself. Herb, bless. All right. So, we see Simon Crosskill have to come out and beat a little dumb one there and teach him. Them have to teach him. Time for we teach them, you know. Because, and by the way, me say, put bars run out too, you know. From Bunting. Put bars run out from Bunting. Samantha, big up yourself. Put bars run out from Bunting. And I say, democracy, when I say democracy, something, me so sure now, and democratic socialism, like that, you know, social democracy. Brother, social democracy and democratic socialism. We won't use the name socialism, but you get done, we don't go away. We don't go away. Yeah. Yeah, Jackson, pick up yourself. See? We don't go away, man. See? So I'm run out pan and I play a bunting. When Johannes Davis I interview, I play a little and then I write I say it's a different thing because when government I provide bus, like Peter Bunting them I fight for the bus. I fight over the bus, you must do it, you must provide it. Brother, what man did that do is give the people them a piece of the pie. When you can't show me one thing what man did do wrong. Remember, you know, you have fight at US I fight Manley. Not just US, but the Jamaica Labour Party. They might mash up the country, forget power, and then, but hurt me, you know, because we live to it, you know. But hurt me, the things that rapid go up. You see when I talk about the 70s, and I talk about the dollar, a garbage, because 70, even 79, I want 60 something to the dollar. Look, $1 something, not $2. $1 something to the dollar. Yeah. Lawrence, where I said there? Deal, yeah, man. Bye. See? To the dollar. So them come out, them attack, yeah. Yeah, brother. Yes. Me them on my life. Them on life. Yeah, man. See? At that for the dollar. At the time of that for the dollar. See, I go move the dollar. When I can't look and struggle. Jamaica struggle 1984. I show you everything. The man ox the place. He put them on food stamp in 1984. Even America vexed with it. It's there. It's documented. And I like me not add down things. It no make sense me sit down here and add down something. When me put out something that will be on a sale. See, for generation to come and when them look and them do them research and see what me attack, it's right there. Them care about that. Yes. And that's the nice thing about around us, you know, learning channel. And we know, yes. We keep it real. Right? So this is what them do. If you have a government, let me ask you before we start play. Simon rub him out too, you know. The question them when me ask, Simon I ask the question and other people, because remember, you know, you as a party should have been goddamn shame. For your talks of the 70s, when you are part of that, and you kill out the people there. GLP activists, GLP frontliner, them work with the CIA and pull one trigger Jamaica. One trigger. One. But the people them end up dead. Them get the gun, show up pass get it. Now I show you live when them around them up in the United States. Me have that too, you know. Me show you. And by the way, me abuse a talk like man the other day, just now. And then Big Mama come out, well, him can't talk like that because that but when I talk like Michael man over stand up on one foot. Me hear even Andrew. Me hear even Andrew say we must look for nothing overseas. If it stand up and build but one thing, then that Michael did do better. Eh? A man said democratic socialism. And him said no, the poor man them forget something. You won't care what the machine and not get, and him said plainly. Oh, that, hey, them figure away in a man. Any man cut against, hey, let me tell you, enough of them for charge of treason. Enough of them for charge of treason, them are idiot. You know, that's why Andrew do them say, you know, government don't need to do nothing. Because of that man they call democratic socialism. When you, the people, them own the things. You can't have one man and him rich like Elon Musk and Uno while work now. Nothing. Right now, them have a strike in a NHT, you know. Most of them not going to work today, just the manager and everything. No for the right class in Jamaica. I don't even think it must be done by this. And soon done. Nobody not going to work. I'm going to ask if them are continue. I think, I don't know if for one day what them are going to do again, but them just strike out today. Now see if it don't make news. You know what I'm just telling you? Because the people them down here are not getting no pay. And for them thing I like the capitalist thing, when more coming like slavery, you work and you must talk. That is bullshit. That is bullshit. You can't, and that the Chinese, them are the people them now. And you hear them talk about communists. They might do it like the capitalists there. You work, and 5% of them get most of the money, and 5% get 95% pay of the money, and then 95% who are work on the project get 5% for them pay. You will ever pay, stay poor and care. You can't. When them do, and by the way, man, they put in free education and free health, you know. I know some of the little down said them are run out and I said they put in that down there. It never there in the 60s, man did it. And tell me what the difference between them and Manley. You can't come and tell Manley in them things say 1 cent missing. Remember I know the first money them thief at 66, 67, you know, for the school the money with them borrow, you know. And the education minister run with well I know the first money them thief. But the first money in an independent Jamaica from 62 with them thief. Big money. And him run way. Education minister run way. Yeah. You understand? Trying to stop him from winning up. But you see when he want the people, remember you know, big million you want to stop somebody will say. But give the people them a piece of the pie. Don't step on them. I want them to disable him if you have the ramp for run and pushing thing. Them people then have no land, give them piece of land. Then that you fight and tell me, and so if me come and burn that, not the big boy that me I fight for. When I know my position already, me there for the poor and needy. See? If me burn a system like that, that means me want to see my people them suffer. So you rather a man tell a garbage and suffer you enrich themselves more than the whole of uno. Alright, that means you don't have to grudge your neighbor. If you have salt, you have salt. If you have sugar, you have sugar. If you have flush toilet, you have it too. Because you go from somewhere when they come and go the country. And stand up on your one foot. Eh? Anything where you see a thing are going like this, come on now. Let me show you this. Simon asked him the question, you know. Simon asked the question. By the way, Phish Edless, you come like my son. You can't be my son doing, you know, yeah, shit. But come like Phish Edless born 89. Phish Edless born 89. Phish Edless come like, you know, can be Phish Edless that. But not, no, we couldn't be that him, not him, just the age. Right? Not dirty thinking Phish Edless. It's when look old and nasty. And him can tell me about the 70s where we live through. Propagandist, you know. Propagandist. He might get 18 million. But not for uno. One of the people are tile and to make sure raise up this. For a state minister, 18 million. How much you not get? Enough nurse now carry home 2 million for the year. And I work very hard. Enough people now carry home that. Minimum wage and not have 830 if you count it like per week. 17 a week. Remember them that work Saturday and Sunday, so you want to count out the whole of the week, them like that. They come up to like 800 something thousand. But he might get 1.5 million per month. For doing nothing. Just tell lie and do garbage. Yeah. Yeah. Them have to disown him. Them have to disown him. Him a nastiness. You tell me know if that's right. These guys now do nothing. You take him off a big mama. Ocean wide. And now he might get 1.5 million. Say he might look who that could say that minister over uno. Phish Edless. Phish Edless. That don't make no sense. That cannot make sense. Them don't have ideas, them don't have plan. Them are run down. You see, look much more tax. Them are talk about no new taxes, all when taxes, they don't think them live off a lie. Lies. Let me hear what Simon say right there, so. Let me hear what Simon say, so. One.
Society. So
Golding, according to the Dean, and I'm quoting directly here, has embraced democratic socialism, the political philosophy.
Let me hear if me when I hear an echo, I'm change up one of the things them, you know. So more hear it. Well on. Well, I'm more hear me hear echo. Well on there.
Championed by the former PNP leader Michael Manley in the 1970s, declaring that changing times are creating renewed interest in the ideology. Golding, addressing the PNP Greendale Divisional Conference on Thursday night, said the philosophy was gaining traction even in the United States, where he argued that there was growing recognition of the need for government to put people's interests ahead of those of powerful individuals and groups. And I quote him here, he says, "Things and times are changing because we need government that looks after the interests of the people." He questioned who would have imagined that the democratic socialism would be adopted in the U.S. The people see that there's a need for government to look after the interests of the people because the world has a lot of power vested in people who are only looking out for themselves and those who support them, he continued. He invoked the legacy of Manley, whom he described as a hero, praising the former Prime Minister for the work he did to transform Jamaica's social fabric. He said the PNP under his leadership would build on Manley's legacy while pursuing an economic model centered on ordinary Jamaicans. So, that, as you can imagine, given the ideological difference that took place in this...
What me I say, you know. So that me I ask them, but something I ask them. So when did Monday socialism, when them say when it fail, how it fail? When do it fail? Can that say when the CIA rushing, that make you fail? And the CIA tap you up. Use the JLP tap you up. And use the IMF and try to stop because they don't want you as a one country. You're depend your own and you can't juggle and you have self-reliance. Free education must go on and free health. See how to stop them, you know. Yes? And anything with the state own way for the people, they must run. So if they fail, man, they never fail. And man, the policy them are use them right now. It not change. Tell me something. Gun court change, I will still have gun court. Me have to ask. Yeah, family court change. Me ask, well, me ask something from yesterday. Me hear someone ask them same way. See, the NHT don't Andrew live out for the NHT straight. From him go in, it balance it. Eh? These things fail. The 40-hour work week, it fail. Our it are the standard thing what we use. That use on the world, right? Yeah? Someone cut it down. It fail. Enough people go university and train up, go to doctor and nurse. Them fail. Churches and all kind of things. Them fail. Yeah. CIA destabilize the thing with the JLP. And then you turn around and tell me in front of the face and tell me some the experiment fail. It wasn't an experiment, it was real. And for the people that are born and look that they look at handout no man, man say no. If they do it more uniform, that we know have something. You see? We don't have to go to them kind of handout there. That we have to them and do them for vote. Can't say no. Everybody have a job and work. Got food. Now send police come kill the youth and say rather. And you call that fail. So when you call Andrew, you call that fail. They must show me, hey, them don't suffer. The man them put up something. And I tell you say, reduce. What antidote to reduce crime? Most of them are not to the bar and them thing there. Crime reduce. Yes, the workforce now 2.3 point something or 4.2%. Not go so. You got to plan start they finish over 700,000 people. Them say that now look at lie. All the people them that eat and send them picnic at school and think them at the house. Them not who tell me which part of Jamaica could absorb over 700,000 people. New factory bill, factory closed down. Show me them just closed down. Yeah. You understand? You understand? The whole of them, hear me now. So much people benefit off of Manley, unbelievable. Whole of we benefit off of that. Then if we not got school from the time and then go learn this or this. No for we. And they say never born, they say never got school. What to know? Not care which part of school the day you benefit. Come on now. Yeah? Mr. not care which part of school the day you benefit. When you get free lunch and free this and free that and bus fare at 2 cents and that. Come on now. On the benefit. You don't have to go to university for benefit. On the benefit right across the board. You understand? On the benefit right across the board. Which one of the policy not fear? I want to tell me now what destroy the country. Well, the money when take, remember, you can't find from man and same thief 1 cent, them same dog. When there. Eh? Tell me now, who you set up for the rich? And for your next country, or you set up for the man that make you open your eye as a poor black man. And give a piece of the pie. It build up the housing church, then build up the whole place, all over the place. That fail? So what the matter say? Eh? The things they might put in GC faster college, one of the places they put in them fail. I'll be a garbage and talk. So tell me one thing you feel Manley now. They might tell me that CIA. That means the man not fail. Free uniform and them things. So the man fail. He never beneficial to us. Me don't understand it. Eh? A man the fear Jamaica Andrew chat too much bullshit to him to a matter of fact. Me have play musical in that year where I'm attack and tell me if a man did this matter like and talk about man too. Maybe I was time and I say yes. Continue.
70s between the PNP and the JLP supporting a more capitalist approach to developing the country, and Michael Manley introducing what was then called democratic socialism. The principle being that there were socialist policies while maintaining a democratic society. So there, you know, if you speak to some members of the PNP at that time, whilst Manley was championing that social change that had to take place, and in Seaga, if you read Seaga's book, the leader of the opposition at the time, they had similar recognition that the social fabric of Jamaica needed to change. It's just that they had.
That's Simon. So if you see the injustice now, don't tell me something. When you want a Jamaica we run see me over them can just for bulldozer down people and mash them up and then you come out and a beg. And the Prime Minister now reach down to you now. And you want a Jamaica where we know so them land they should have cut up and the people them get back some land and that them can farm and do them things and with dignity. Because when people them get the whip like what man say. Which one of them better for you? What we do? Come in and talk to some people for the big boys them we never buy land, you know. We for them generation get the land from the king, you know. And still sit down on it, you know. And do what them want to do, you know, them own a land where them never pay for. And them people never buy it. Them capture it. And I call people capture now. That capture it. In UK capture it from Spain. Spain capture it from the Tanyal. Yes. You understand? The Tanyals. The Indian them. Spain capture it. UK capture it from them. Capture land. And then you UK people ban from that and everything, and then you do you want to come this time. That makes sense? May I ask them which policy man they put out with here? Different families where you say the CIA put out them thing. Which policy fail? Them can't find one. Eh? Them are use it now, but in fail. And these are the questions you ask, even if you're labor right, it's but no, but hold on, but man did not fail. Don't man did fail. Where? You can't pick up people so much lies and pick up, you have to pick up imperialism. That's number one. I remember, you know, that if a some country like America or Russia, that's a guilty, I remember you get executed. Can you see them do it now, Russia? Are you already in a prison? When you sell out the country. And that's enough when enough JP do, shoot bad Manley, burn down evening time and sell out the country. And then I'll be about 89, where you tell me we go through this. We benefit from Manley program. We're born from 60s, and even at the early 70s coming up, them benefit too. Them benefit too. Andrew benefit. When Andrew in 78, he's not going to grade 1, grade 2, 79. Even at 80, grade 3. And you know better than Andrew benefited. To the free thing, them and them thing. In benefit. In bar 72. And he go basic school too. So in benefit. In benefit, man, and you have to spend the money after this. You know, see my piece of shit. To in benefit from Monday. So if you born there, and you born with the benefit. Automatically. So you think I don't see money think about university and you know benefit and you born 1960s. Or the 70s and you know benefit. Where you get that? Up to baby were born at 78 and then benefit. From on the 79, you benefit too. Yes. Yes. So you benefit from the five policies. Policies them same way. Yeah, Andrew never born was a little boy. I forgot. Yes. That's why I asked which policies, but man did one feel. So the gun court now operate now. Family court now operate. The oath in just under there. The 40 hours week. Yeah, very quick. In another day. The bastard and servant act not still stand up. The one of these things are still there. What them I use? I can't name out a bag more. So the ag pen, where them not run the ag pen, but turn ag pen, and National Housing Trust, them not stand up. The National Water Commission, they're the same way around. Eh? Rather than around 1990, come in 89, 1990 rather, Michael Manley. It's not still there. They can't name out various things. I wonder, where it feel? Eh? A man can come to you and bully you and thump in your mouth, and when you look your brother and sister, them are pick up for the man. Them are say, you have to ban them too. Them forget ban. Them are garbage. Tell me one thing, a man they come out and fear. Fear about the poor people. And build school and make sure you have free education. Them time we used to have dentists. Let me ask you now, man, they fear. Oh, man, they fear about we have dentists. I work through the whole time. Dentists, nurse, doctor, my hospital never run down like this. Bust around pan timing. Yeah, we have food. So people money where you get to go to school because you have food I eating. Let you want so you can save your money. Them come at school and open bank account. Eh? But you do what? You fear, man, they fear. And man, they make this and that. Gonna work with CIA. And then like people are eat that. Remember, we have the whole docket. Every time when I go, your son will open moon. Count and shit. It's serious, you know. People run them way, you know. Run them way, you know. When you have a prime minister, a man will stand up and talk about the injustice. And work on that and give you enough people right now who are millionaires because of Michael Manley. Whether them a lawyer, them a doctor, them a professor, them a no people. I remember I just through that. No people go through trade and skill and them are the biggest trade man right now. What even teach others? I get big contract of Michael Manley. Enough of them. In every sector. Right now. In build them life. Yeah. You understand? Make you know, stop thinking like a slave. And think like an independent person now where you have to own things too. Don't look on your color. Like you go carry out a man, chimney out of his house and say, yes, sir, you can't tell him fuck up because you have nothing to eat. Him can crush and spit on you and use you like a bitch. You man, me attacking. And that must what Big Mama want. Him can use it like a bitch, you know, man. Him call you as a man and take away your dignity from you. You can't do nothing because you want a piece of food. Eh? And that them want. Man, they never in that. If a son, and then you go back home to your family, you look bad when you look on your wife and your kids them. Come and just grab your dignity, you can't do nothing because you have to get a little piece of food and then spit all upon you too, you know. Man, that's that for done. And treat you like one and bitch. Yes. Treat you and you know have the pride and no dignity of your man, like the little dirty one the way I'll be anaconda. See? Yeah, you know have the pride and no dignity and when you go look for your family, it's nasty. Eh? This bad. Man, they move that and say no pride and dignity. Yeah, you can't find out nothing. Yeah, you understand? Continue.
Different ways of achieving that. Anyway, as you will all have been aware, Michael Manley saw himself and was anointed by others as the spokesman of the third world, and he aligned himself with the likes of Cuba, Ortega in Nicaragua, Bishop in Grenada, and others who were left of center and certainly would be described as left-wing. That prompted, as you will know, a response from the United States, which I'll get into in just a minute. Anyway, so while Mark Golding made those comments, there was a report in The Observer now where the government senator, Abka Fitzhenley, who is a state minister, former parliamentary secretary, criticized Golding's support for democratic socialism, warning that Jamaica cannot afford a return to what he described as the economic hardships of the 1970s.
Stop this. So Jamaica, what kind of economic hardship they did in the 1970s? More than them work with CIA and them do it. Them do it to who never even ban. Who leave it out and see what they do to Cuba now. What people get Russian, right? Front of the eye and can't do not about it. Because Andrew now open him out. He's a boy. He's a boy. Man didn't about to this. Man did the court can see. See what I'm going to do in Venezuela. Front of the eye. I'm here, somebody put up, well, Venezuela have the most island and people are starved. No! The barricade and them people are starved. Them can't sell them oil with some big gun in their neck. Nobody can buy the island then we do because you want, so you overthrow government to do fire shot. And then we answer the Venezuela not do right because them starve them people. No, you who are starve the people. You speak truth to power. And that them do to it in 1980, same thing. And all you see where you do, you turn the black eye, no might be right. Speak truth to power. Yes. Everyone have an exit off of earth one day, you know. But you have to speak truth to power. Yes, speak truth to power. See? So Peter up in front of me right now. When I ask, let him go for your president. Yeah? When you see it in front of you, that Venezuela could not manage. No, after too much years and you barricade and you say, you say, I'm grind them to a halt. And then you're sending propaganda and say, he can't manage and still there and soon as starve to death. Who has starved you to death? I said them has starved you to death. Are your government? That makes sense. Eh? You tell me if it makes sense, someone Turkey boy. Me I talk to you, man. Tell me Rasta, that makes sense. Eh? The piece of shit never been accepted, but I said go back to the stupidity and hardship. And people are leave. When you say them a fight war with the country, this is how you come out and say with the people. And I get $18 million for come to fuckery. On the taxpayers' money. This piece of shit will I mean the country not good. Garbage. Big dirty thinking, Phish Edless. Eh? Anytime them go back and set up in the I'm no say I'm hurting. Can you imagine if that was the PMP I work with it? PMP that get disbanded long time. I work with CIA. Can you imagine them want to do that? But think of it. And them do the country like this. Can you imagine how them that remind them every day and beat about it? Every day. You have this man to PMP. No. This man to JLP. Them is shit. You can't so wicked. And they can't explain themselves, you know. Because remember me, like, if you tell me something, and me I have to explain. I have to in the 70s, the way you in the 70s, the way I tell you, oh, you repeat something. Fight today. Because you hear, you repeat. My road never full of so much people, by the way. I remember them have to use the airport. I'm a divider, so I can't see where I go. Piece of shit. It never support. Yeah? So they talk about book back, what them say. Then people leave, yes, but there not so much people, so you can go away. In 58 man, all the way. Yes, our parents back, so notice. Yeah? But you have to beat them with the way, you have to carry them, you have to beat them with reality. Let me tell you this. Anybody will put up and cut against the 70s, put it up, and then never, you know, another to see attack you, like an next country attack you. But I see I use the same party where I chat. At them shoot and burn on evening side and shoot Bad Manley. Shoot with a Manley, not Babylon and shoot Dan Taylor. Then get around 5 shots. One of them live. You understand? At the time, life could have harder in the southern now. Eh? The 10 years old life, another sort of the question me I ask them. Can I look at now? What people, how people survive right now, God brother. How people survive now. Eh? Oh, this is garbage. Let me continue play this. Continue play this.
Fitz Henley, who was born in 1989, and he chairs the Jamaica Labour Party Communication Task Force.
It's the president now. Born, just like you this, you know, born 1989. You know, like you talk to your son now. In there, he looks like I look like 50 times older than me, Gerarded. Or could I be with son, you know, but 50 times older than me. In born 89. In born 89. You're kidding me. This and nasty is born 89. Yeah? Yeah, Phish Edless. And I hear this, and share the fish force. Continue. Yeah, no, about the 70s, you know. I read after something I convince somebody about the 70s. I'm shameless and worthless and thinking himself, man. Yeah? No, young bird. The young fish. No, nothing. Continue.
Responded to those comments, and he went on to say that Jamaicans should remember the economic challenges of that period, arguing that the policies associated with democratic socialists led to economic decline, capital flight, shortages, currency.
Man, the policy relate to economic decline and flight, and the people that fly, them never want them, but the rich people them will fly. Them never want the poor people them get a piece of the fucking pie. Why not that hard to learn piece of done said piece of shit? Man, even tell about the factory them and the sabotage. Where you have to turn back the people them to me. Turn them back. Give me them. Let me not produce. Turn them back and you can't make them have a piece of this and piece of that. Man, they say, no, can't do it, not do it. Now about to know, them have to have something to. So that the good policy, man, they did have bad. People, the policy we ever talk about at the backside, every you. At the backside, they want to make it 200 million. Which policy man for bad? Can no policy where in the country never make the country bad enough piece of shit. No, not ask. I got that. Which policy and Michael Manley come with a past year, but make the people them suffer, make the country bad. Bad policy. All the attack from CIA, we attack from the jail people, we kill all people and firebomb them. And shoot Bob Marley and burn them leaving time and kill 800 hard in a 1980, kill 200 hard in a 1976. Yeah? You understand? Living on people ticket. Ninja do that, man, yes. 84 that come in. Okay? That and the bad policy was Siaga. You never buy, you don't know. You buy when they come out, it's a piece of shit. You buy when they get knocked away. You buy 89. When Siaga get kicked away, kick out. Okay? Tell me which one of the bad policy. Hey, no. Why? Which bad policy Michael Manley put up there? Why? Free education is a bad policy. Right now, when I say when them sick, them fly out. How much I can fly out? When you never need to fly out, you have the doctor and the nurse and everybody only have good hospital. It was a bad policy. Tell me, man. When you not answer me, I know. Andrew, watch this, Tell me, man. That was a bad policy. Free education and free health. Jamal was a bad policy. Yeah. Netherlands backside to them. So which bad policy he matter about? Where must they? No, people have to start running them in a real life though. Tell me which policy. You have to about fly out. The poor them with the money tell me poor people could have fly out. Them never want to fly out, them just want back them country. They want a piece of the pie. We have to treat them good. Yeah? So all them piece of shit here. I talk about the bad policies. After tell me which one of the policy a man the bad. Which one? For what? I CIA come and make the country scream. And uno work. Remember, them I run the money and the drugs and the gun. But uno work and shoot the people then. My brethren get shot. Him dead and I was still. Dead 3 times now. Long time. See? Him get shot. Them go on a bus and shoot, tell me. Him shoot it. Shot from behind, your knee, yeah, so behind the back. Yeah. Yeah. I'm at Africa, most is out to get shot. Right? Right at Louis store. Right now in Kentucky, right? That's all. Louis store, it turned Kentucky now. Was Louis store back then. Yeah? When them pass and them fire them shot through the bus. Because them push out them and shoot people, And I get it. Yeah. Building get shot. See? Yeah. So that's what I ask them people. Yeah. Because I don't need them attack to it. And I need them attack them. When I ask which bad policy, which one of the policy them bad, what man they come with? Tell me one. Because them I use right now, Bastard and servant act. That policy, which one of them bad? I'll be a garbage them talk, You talk about people that fly when you have superpower fight with. Yeah? Question by uno. Because uno really do this. Them push the weapon and push the money and drugs. And uno really take the fight to the people there. Of course, Panda was ahead of him time. After me, I play blues, I hear blues, I say about me. I play Andrew Willis. I tell you, I'm going to stand up a whole foot now. Everything where you stand up, only thing Andrew's supposed to come up and tell me is to know. He must have said, you look outside. So that's not bad policy, Andrew Willis. Because you have a repeat man the same. Self-reliance, I'm on the train. Yeah. Because them say all the people them get this whip. And the black people them among us gonna get nothing. Landless. Nothing. Can't read, can't write, can't number, nothing. You know have a good address. And then change that. And you say that about policy. But to the people housing trust. Welcome for Michael Manley. Him set it up that run by itself. Nothing about that kind of policy there, Him and PJ. So PJ set up something better run there. With them going the FSC, them just go take 500 million out of the FSC. A party to set up that, Self-contained, Self-reliance. The self-reliance too. It alone. Say 80 money voter. I take that money. Can you imagine? So the more money it make, it could have done a house about for 20 million, it's 10. In garden, I gonna mash it up. Gonna mash it up. You understand? But a bad policy. May I ask them, tell me one policy was bad. More than a country attack your country and use jail people to kill with people. Them gonna prison ongo thing bad about him and the jail people, What kill out the people, them and shoot Bob Marley and shoot Peter Marley and shoot Dan Taylor. And burn down evening time. Yeah? Overall, is over 1,000 people them killed between 76, 270 and 1980. 889. Over 1,000 people then killed. anger, power. And pay propaganda lies. I'm not tell about it. Continue.
Depreciation and rising living costs. No doubt about that. He says those of us who recall our history should remind the current generation that during the 1970s, the PNP's embrace of democratic socialist experiment, which Mark Golding alluded to, led to severe economic decline, massive capital flight, severe food shortages.
You then hang you by your tongue to use that garbage. So a Manley socialist experiment make severe shortages and flight and everything. You can't say CIA release them fucking documents and everybody have it and you come say this. You know to say your terms. You know to say you're not supposed to get taxpayers money for your pay. You know to say I mislead the fucking you can't mislead nobody because they live through it. You know to say my shit. Eh? What kind of social experiment? You can't free education experiment, drunk bro. You can't free education and free experiment. You can't look unquote experiment. Yeah? But you can't experiment. The bastard, when can experiment? Just tell me now. See the experiment. The 40-hour per week work schedule. Experiment that as a reality. And the family court, where some of them man are what is experiment. None of them gonna master the country. None, not even one. CIA use JLP, fuck up the country over to the man. Yeah? But bad experiment. Yeah? Your friends think in my garbage. Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, the way I said it, the time I look at me, the man asked this. Yeah. I remember, you know. Remember, Siaga. No matter about the experiment, you can go read about Siaga. Never put up in front and talk about Siaga. Can remember, you know, Siaga give them food stamp. Him devalue the dollar. Remember with dollar, I don't talk about the value of dollar. You can Google and look on the value of the dollar. When I won, and then go $1, and even a 17 and a $1, like $1.69 or something, not two. So when Siago come in, he never took Siago carry it and double it 100%. When he take it out and he peg it at $5 to one, peg it. He get $1 and he never put him at two, him reach a 5. He peg it. See? Him try to cut the debt and him go, brother, the man shut down some hospital and do something it's unbelievable. Uncle Star lick man now. After we know dumpling and butter, you know. After man no dumpling and carry bread in them, they run a butter, you cook and you say, yeah. Food and juice. And when you look, juice start cut now. Everything start cut, you say, what is this? He never ever born yet. But we have been place for people in my born yet. We not shut up and go away. Then in a Gilbert, we have been place for people when there. He not act yet. Eh? Yeah, man. Nothing to go away, man. You don't know nothing, but you read something and tell people to remember what lives to it. You're garbage now. You're more than garbage. And the more as you talk, I want to shoot bad Manley, I want to go down even time. The JP do it. You know, hey, no people ask about CIA. I know them. I JP show up as them never true. They, so they never put action in Jamaica, the JLP do everything we're going to JLP do. So we have to come from CIA and them the strategic thing and everything is the JLP. And them what talk about some of them about them, they get locked up, them should get crucified. Them should know about no government. That's why the country and then come back and fling that in your face. You think you're gonna pick up for the rich and greedy? I will not. That's why you see people still and not talk about the pure London. No, look much people man they make sure have least full this that build place, make them have a sugar worker place, cut Percal Road because they never cut. Yeah, build the micro dam them, that mean you not have no drought. You have water, you know, to run for yes. You understand? So do everything, to just make everything flow. So even when this is going, when food, hey, but now 70s, let me tell you, can never back. When food are cook, when a dumpling, you have cornmeal and that. Let me tell you something where you don't know. Through the one of this, our dog, a cornmeal and them get meat. In the 80s, we couldn't give them a chicken back, all your chicken back now. You look the bone, you have to have, hey, move! And that's Yaga. Not my word. Believe to it. And that's Yaga, everything move up. When you used to cook, give a dog, can't even cook meat with it, you know, the dog have to get them food every day, you know? Every day. In the 80s, you couldn't afford that no more. Somebody so hungry, you know, you have to look work, you have to listen me in the 80s, you couldn't do it no more. Yeah. I don't know. See? Remember, when never have that back in the 70s, when never, well, I say, listen, nip and rubber, them have to get carving tricky. Me and my dog, they me a car. You have to cook. Them food have to cook, you know. When night and them meat, you know, that and well story, and you have to make it cool out to make it burn them. My father yet. So remember, them have to have them, yes. Yeah, man, your dog, them have to nice to man. Teach your dog, them have to, and them look good. You know, like how them are station dog, you know, look. Them look like no get them hungry. Them dog, they have muscle. Yeah. You understand? You understand? No, man, but hear this. In a town, when food are cooked, remember we have the juice, always have the juice. Yeah, and I remember when dumpling and a dumpling alone in a pot. So you have banana, yam, plantain, daffin, everything, breadfruit. So you get a proper meal. You get a proper meal when them cook. See, food always in a pot because you could have food empty of fresh food. And I tell empty, them use banana and boil, can no banana in the pot. So add feeding a boiled banana. And them throw salt on that and drink enough salt. Can no food there. Not the skin, the banana itself. Not the skin. Them boil the banana and yeah. With the skin and everything. And I don't the skin alone. See? They boil it, cool it, when you go to country that them do. Food there. Yeah? Him not know these things, you know. So we are telling him, that's a kind of ban them days there. But yet, see them come out and I run out and I say, members and fuck too much flight and there with an ass to say, you hear something and then you repeat it. You repeat that. But you know about 1970s. Okay, idiot. Come on now. See?
A major plunge in the Jamaican dollar and a massive increase in the cost of living.
Major plunge. What's the major plunge? You Google and tell me what in 1979. Look on that. Look here. Look here. 1979. Look here. US dollar. US. Let me show you something. US dollar. I can trace it and look for the whole dollar thing. So what about major? What's a major plunge? You know what's a major plunge? A major plunge are from 120 to 160. That's a major plunge. You have to have a major plunge. Look here. US dollar to Jamaica. 1979. Look here. Look here. Look over there, then no matter about major plunge. Look here. You see it? Slightly to 1 cent-1. And I mean that plunge to him. When about the dollars? We never reach 2 for 1. Me could go to 1980, 81. Major, me look at now. I'm not sure 83. I'm sure about plunge. Look at US dollar. Look at US. And them are either tell because I can look on it. I mean, I have to tell you because I remember I do not have that. But we can look on it. Can document it to run up. We have things where we can look on right now. US dollar in 1981. She's still there at 81, you know. Look. It never gone far yet. It's a major plunge, you know. Look at. Let me tell you, show him this. Me just show them in a where you do. Come on, me show them, man. Come on. My boy this. So $1.78, right? It's a 81. See that $1.78. This is 81, right? January 81, 178 each. But the 160, I see the 181. See that? 178. See the 81 that. That's 81. Manley in a power. 81. Me could look at 84 now. 81, 2, 3, 83. Look at. US dollar 83. Me will put 83. When I talk about plunge, let me show you something. See? All right. Look on the plunge. So it not move yet. 1983. See that? And if I look at 84 in crisis. See that? Steady from previous year. Look now, look at 84 now. Let me show you. When I say major plunge, but we look at 84 now. 84. But major plunge and crisis. 83. What am I not sure 83? Let me show you where the crisis there. 84. Can you remember the tabloid, you know? Can I take it out and show you? But let me just show you, look. So 83 are one cat steady. You see this? $3.30. You know what that means? From 178 to $3.30. You see that? That's like $1.58 up on that, right? Nearly double. And when you go down, it double. You go down, just couple more money, double it. The major plunge was here. Not that 80. Me sure said steady. The major plunge was 84. And if you look, and you got to struggle, most of the things I'm going to talk about and the marriage and things that was 84. You notice Monday and a Monday come in with the free food ticket and all kind of things. I say I got. So them couple up this day, you know, look on it. So let me treat it over the 70s and say Monday. Then pull your part. You look, Jamaica struggle. Let me show you the type B. Look. Jamaica struggle 1984. And you have the New York Times where them can't mess with it. Cheetah. I mean, let them go read it. See that? Jamaica struggle 1984. Let me show me how I do this. You look where it mark. Shortages are one of the many symptoms of a long-term economic crisis that most of the 2.3 million Jamaicans have begun to feel deeply. This a 1984 New York Times. See that? September the 5th. Go read it. It's about the food stamp ticket, why I'm short down and every fucking shit. Them can go in the New York Times and come up with. It's not them archive. But just show you go read it. Most of the things when I talk about, when them come up with it, and I talk about the 70s is bullshit. Go and read them, just show you. Yeah? Zero and Batman. Yes. Go to the show now. Go to the archive and you will see. Just get it and copy it. And make sure all I want to read it. Say it again, just make him read it. Knowledge is power. Yeah? Archive, show them up. So I'm like me every day and tell life on them. It's documented, you know. It's documented in the UK to other papers in the state. Right? So although them have fight Manley at the time, them have documented same way. You know, for them place there already. Although them say, well, you know, after this and that. When you look for where the money they stand up, below 2 for 1. I mean, some of them have said, the dollar is bigger than gonna eat that. Eh? At $1 at $1 something, not 2 for 1. It got to 83, the same money. Well, it got up little under him, but it nearly double it. Nearly 100% I put that $3 ad. Austerity measure, I didn't tell you. And people get laid off by the thousands. And I fly them, they fly out, and you know, them have job. Remember, these people will get laid off to the work to them at the time. So even them say, job lay off, them did a work. At them time, I know I have to stop it. You know, dog, the amount of car meal, it cut down till it swindle down. Till we have your car meal too, where it good set speed. Where dog used to look good. Yeah? It's there. Me not have no time to do this shit with them. Let me continue. Simon, I'm going to beat him now. Continue.
By hundreds of percent. And I've always found it, and I've argued, being a great...
Say that I'd be valued by 100%. Hold on, let me hear what I'm just saying. Hold on.
Severe food shortages, a major plunge in the Jamaican dollar, and a massive increase in the cost of living by hundreds of percent.
I go by no 100, the hundreds of percent are in 1984. We live through this. You see when them corporate up and talk these fuckery. Remember I documented to you, remember we live through it, you know. Cost of living never go up no 100%. In a Seattle in 1984 that happened. It's there, it's documented. Just remember them that document that too, you know. Make them show by 100% now. Eh? Fucking idiot. Remember now, the most of the thing them like MC, but them not go. And most of the thing them not go up like this. So I like them at it. Continue. And see I go move subsidy, you know, by the way, you know. That's how the things them go up like that. Man, they never do it. Man, they subsidize the thing, them do this. And the people them will lay off them that work them at the time, by the way. See how I can find them. You see them when them do them compounded, mix up something and mix up something else and then push it to the people. So if you don't know, you run with it and say the 70s, on Monday, and the experiment now at CIA and the Jamaica labor. And them are the experiment. Well, I understand, remember play this minute. Remember play this. Remember play Farrakhan.
Jamaica, who spoke at Savior's Day, was such a threat to our government that they attempted 3 times to assassinate the man in 1976. Even down in Jamaica, I'm skipping, they tried in 1976 to organize a military coup to overthrow Michael Manley. In 1976, they supported attempts to assassinate Michael Manley on 3 different occasions. The little man who led Jamaica, who spoke at Savior's Day, was such a threat to our government that they attempted 3 times to assassinate the man in 1976. So later, they found a way to get rid of him through riots in the street over food when they cut off assistance to Jamaica. This is America.
If just know what man they do wrong, you know. I was one of the policy man they use and bank up the place. Because superpower fight you. Like which policy you use and bank up the place? Which one of the policy them out there and experiment. Man they never do no experiment. Man they think them a reality. Not them a use today. Any one of them when them are labor and that make it worse. That's how white man can't say nigga. Yeah? Actually, we're not supposed to talk about no 70s when them fuck up and shoot Bob Marley, Rita Marley, and Taylor, Dan Taylor, nearly kill them, and turn round and burn the evening titles, not CIA. CIA give them equipment and gun and money, but at them do it, they never have to do it. If you capture power, if you turn back the same people, them brainwash them, then you. Me could have said something better days that come and live through the 60s. When we can't move and them trim rasta and kill who and lock them up and you can't talk and then me get a break, me and my family, and then me follow you know. Come on now. And then come with a five flight a day. Yeah? And about miggle this and miggle that. This is bullshit. And the rich boy them run. Rich boy them kind of spoon of a shop down. Yeah, no school. A matter of fact, and you have more people in 10 years leave Jamaica, brain drain, more than anything else. Every year, the teacher, them more than 1,000 teacher leave, like more than 15,000 them leave from him coming up power. 15,000. He have more than doctor and nurses, more than 800 of them leave already. 8,000. Like 500 nurses every year or more, plus doctors. So the hospital them empty. And that take your generation if you train them up back. You have to you see man there when go in Africa all over the place and India look doctor to come back and the doctor them are run from him do. You train them up and then they are service. You see? Everything with this guy come up with a nastiness. See I go push up the money 200%. See I go do the thing them with them attacking. The money never go by this and that and I think this is bullshit. Yeah? Bullshit. You try to assassinate them and treat them. They know. Them in America, them talk about it. The CIA released the file. Them know. We have document about that too. So I pass to go up there and then them go rampage the place. Let me finish Crosskill.
And I've always found it, and I've argued, being a great supporter and follower of Michael Manley and his rhetoric of the time, because it was unprecedented for a youngster like myself to hear A, somebody as articulate as Michael Manley, but B, referring to a number of the social issues that you could see affecting the country.
Listen, social issue. So, Andrew by walking and cutting a ribbon. Social issue. And the policy money want to cut a ribbon in them that want X amount of people who want to get things. In that do it the next way, when I know to come and push up himself like this because he do these things. But him now walk and cut the ribbon like this. And then build them in a more, rapid expansion. Right? So Andrew walk and do this. Oh, it's okay. He might take a little turn a Manley now and give a little 1 hour and I give this. Because you're poor and now get you Manley teach you a fish store. That's the difference. Anything like this, what am I doing with social issue, Michael Manley? But just didn't match up the country. Eh? When at them destroy the country, team up with CIA, people hold them accountable. Them forget all accountable. Yeah? For the killings and the thing with them do before some of them dead.
When you speak to the two sides, you have those who would benefit from those social policies, the largely black population that was significantly disenfranchised from the best schools, universities, etc., medical, health, you name it. And they eventually benefited from things like free education, healthcare, and so on. And then you listen to the other side. That's the side that a lot of people who fled the country on the 5 flights to Miami, who had something to lose, i.e. good jobs, good housing, cars, etc.
One day, the rich people, them, whenever want you get a piece of the pie, they want to live from, for them people, for them generation where own the land, we get the land, with them chop the land. You must get none. You for work for them for no little or nothing, and them to live the lavish lifestyle. Man, they say, no, that's injustice. Look how people, hey, my man, they come in and be a shanty town and be a the same way, Nothing for them, you know. I'm hoping I say education, but for educate the best way for educate the people them out of this. So she don't take no hand out and make them push around. Great achievement, Sir Manley. And this piece of shit about in the 70s and there was no experiment. There was none. Yes. You understand? Continue.
Should return to the front pages here in 2026. But I always ask those who criticize what
with him case. Just listen where him work. And your time and I deal with him case.
happened, how is it you never mention the oil crises of the 70s? Two major oil crises that resulted in the cost of oil almost quadrupling within months. Yeah, going.
Mention it. Until they said them didn't have power, them couldn't manage it. Until they said, oh, good thing could have cushioned Jamaica at the backside levy. If you never do that, Jamaica wipe out. Wipe out. He said, I wipe out too much years ago. He said it, you know, 76. And yes, that man does have to mention this. Hear this again. Hear this.
Up by 4 times. Yet now we're talking about what happens when the oil prices go up, and we're talking about the end of the world. How is it?
Someone said, no, they matter about oil price gone up, and we're talking about the end of the world and want food gone up. Look what talk right now. I him come out, you know, and Jamaica in a recession. 3/4 decline. 3 quarters straight, you know, decline, you know. 3 straight quarter decline we have. From the December 1, January 1, the other one we just stand 3/4 decline. Yeah? 3 consecutive quarter. And yet still him run out and chat bullshit for Michael Manley. Yeah? Manley back to that. Even when the high price, world high price is not like this. I remember say, Phish Edless come tell us say, the money whether they even the shock. And we are right because we not spend this. Remember that's talking about Parliament the other day. And we say all a party like dog. The other day when the guy from Petrojam there, Mrs. Siaga, came out with Andrew Woney Senator. You know, so, well, you know, we have to go raise on subsidy because the high price. Where tell me that for? Man, they manage this. No, he don't know about the high prices neither. Simon, he don't know. Continue.
You never talk about the influence of the United States and the CIA operations, which have been confirmed by CIA operatives to undermine the Manley government. But
nobody now buying a fool again. Phish Edless and JP government. Right. Simon, you never talk about these things. Because remember, you're part of the country, you know. When you go and say open wounds, and we should have some inquiry upon them and lock up them backside. Can't make them go so. Mr. Cougar did a run out of plane and said, they're not for 7 months. When they lock up you them for years. You was one of them on the front line. Let them for water boat somehow or two. Yeah. Yeah, you know, where them give them like where them the lie detector test, where them give them, where them name again, them forget it. I want to bone them make them talk the truth. Yes. And lock up them backside, them to go away. Them sell the country out. Them terrible man. Should have charged them if I charge them on that man. When this stop out, them should have get charged. Yes. Continue.
in 2026, we say, you know what, we can't say nothing to the Americans, you know, because you see, we talk to the Americans away and defend this, that, and the other. Then we chop the foot away. Then we increase tariffs. So we recognize in 2026 that our neighbors to the north will do what is necessary to keep us in line. And then the other question I tend to ask those who...
Yes, Simon Anaki. So, yes. Because we can't say nothing. And we a big mama them know to it. We can't Andrew, while the water sheep, And we can't talk about him put out new system for man did I say. Eh? But yes, still come and tell me you can't do this and you're free. But man, that's no one people we need because this wrong. You're not supposed to have bully. And you're war with me. And them not just a war with me. But we know Jamaican involved doing this to our own people. And they make the gangs and the thing come out. Right? That's why it stays. They're not good. They're not good. They're not. Yes, they're not. And then I spread propaganda to them people. See, we're front away. It's bad. Continue.
Are almost violently opposed to what happened in the 70s. What would you change? For instance, G.C. Foster College. Would you get rid of that? Because that appeared in the 1970s. Would you do away with the National Housing Trust? Because that came up in the 1970s. Would you, well, we know the bauxite levy is not that important to the government as defined by previous ministers. Would you do away with the College of Agriculture, Science and Education? Would you just throw that away? Because that came up in the 70s. Would you do away with Jamal? Would you do away with the Caribbean Maritime University, Port Authority of Jamaica? Would you say that National Youth Service was a terrible thing?
So when we ask the question, we ask Simon ask this man in emergency, said it could. Because it's a question we are asked. And can ask then Port Authority to, you know, of them that get with the Port Authority. We are give them the amount of money, Port Authority. And Manley, you know, what Manley do? Them good policy when it's big head go after that piece of shit, not thinking Phish Edless run out with it. What them not with? People at times want to rub them out and tell them say, wanna be go away, you know. What wanna do? Come out with brainwash, wanna lie down the pocket and fuck up the people and enrich yourself. So if we don't love the fucking poor, why we not raise and I said nearly 300% of the people them can't get a raise. If not do something for the country, why not do this to them and do this? Eh? Why man they never do something like this? And look at raise up here and do something. You understand? This bad. It's bad. Let me continue. Yes.
Throw away the Petroleum Corporation of Jamaica? Get rid of the National Family Planning Board? Family.
Put on some of that name here because I'm on the one of that. Petroleum Corporation of Jamaica, I'm on the trade. National Family Board, I know. Yeah. The one of them things we hear attack in because I don't know how them that have done a walk there run everything. If you move the one of these things and some things are on the pity, I don't know. Because it's right now around the country. It's not top of the government, like yeah, down there so. Saying it's not nobody think no man do right at top of the government, right? You think them are survive. The same politics and everything when put in it, them have to use. If they ever know someone they put them in, him just ban him a shit. If they ever got study before him talk and say no, you leave him out of this. If the African guy does something from Ghana, you notice him thank Marcus, then Michael, Manley, and then Bob Marley. Yeah, to set up and fight for them, you know. Yes. All right. Yeah. Yeah, man, I said, come on, JM. I said, come on, you have to go and big him up. Well, no, but hear this, brother. Even if you do this, it's all good. My brother said this man, you know. When he said it to me, I said, well, but it's all good. Same time and everything good. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Because people have to recognize these things. Say, I'm going to more and more people come out and ask. Come here, ask the man to do a mash up the country. When do? The rich and famous, them fly out. Who are farmer them? We never hungry because we live to it. Me, I tell you, so we never hungry. Yeah? A matter of fact, man, they say, man, they run this stadium with over 40,000 people have the outside. And man, they say, them things say, we couldn't afford and we couldn't do this. And God, him say, God bless you know. And him tell about the creek and the firewood and everything what them are doing. Him say, oh, one day no say the law of justice are real where it snatch them back to come stand up against justice. They're not stand up against justice yet. And we start time for them to stand up against justice. Yeah, against justice. Yeah, man, them forget justice, man. People forget justice, see what them do, man. Move up the people, them money and do all kind of things them pay. Continue.
Court, gun court, Edna Manley College. Would you do away with all those things? Because I'm not sure what part of the social change you object to. And it is rich coming from a senator, a former broadcaster, which doesn't pay that well, I can promise you, who now, as a state minister, earns over $18 million a year.
Simon, the Japan big mama spread in propaganda. And Andrew can just move you. So you look right front of you. This is a corruption, you know. This is by itself a corruption. Move you and put you in. And then put you in for your spread propaganda. Never even born another time. You know about Hurricane Gilbert. Gilbert will lie you too. Yeah? Never born. If you did work for your mama, your papa, you won't even there. See? So you get too much trouble. And that's that bullshit. Phish Edless. Yeah? Me I ask push one of them now, what kind of experiment man they do? And what kind of failure we did have? I'd say I'm gonna mash up the place. When I look at Jamaica struggle 1984, when I see Jamaica struggle in a New York Times, them can't go and trouble that. They can't mess with that. It's there. Yeah? In a Jamaica paper, them mess with it, them not mess with that. Because them keep it in them archive forever. As long as humankind about. Same. So you can go look on it, Google it, you see it and read it for yourself. Food stamp and all. Yeah, when the dollar, they move from $1 ad to $3 ad, nearly 100%, and austerity measure pull up and put them from food stamp and start many things and fire a lot of people, thousands of people, thousands, and then pin that now to the 80s, to the 70s. And fool, you know. It's there. So we are telling them to go look. And every one of them will come every time we see them talk about Manley, because I call them a shoot up Bob Marley. Them from down in a Tivoli. And who up on the front page with them got Siaga. I remember CIA about them do it, you know. And who up on the wrong do it. JLP do it. Yeah? So you have to look on them hierarchy, the one them when they pan it will let this. And them talk to. And it's there everywhere all over the internet when you can go look on it. You know, they're part of this to them own country, to sink it, to get look of power and turn around and sink the people. What they are going to do, you know, in the 80s, unbelievable, you know. Death rate around about 200%, you know. He couldn't fix it. Up to US, shame him. When he done, shame. You understand? Shame him. Food stamp. Food stamp, brother. Yeah. That a lot of labor rights injured. Brother, the one away, listen. Whether you go in and you go all age, high school, basic school, or what, Jamal, everybody benefit. When you're about the 60s and 70s, you know you benefit from Manley. And some of the 50s to them benefit from Manley. We start with you do your trade and you go university, there are doctors and nurses. And them come now and train others. You know what we do? We have free this. Right now you have enough people with some mouth where drunk on the one walk side of them. Got them teeth now, yes. No hygiene there. And then plus, you know, they might eat out a straw now, you know. They might eat out a straw. So you know, it make it worse, it compound the nastiness. Right? Them throat coming like a sepulchre. And them have no dentist money for paying a dentist for clean up them, you know, proper hygiene. Can you know them eat out a straw, them are germs. You know that jungle. Yes? Them to go away, you know. Them to go, man. See? So this is what them doing, man, they give created. Look at them. Him come and watch student doing them. Him have to go check. Siaga. Because man, they put in. Siaga done that age 6, you know. So you have to go to student loan. So Siaga done that. And say regret, say done. Yeah? When man did them, I say, man, they say about regret, you know. Man, they say, you know, like one challenge them, get all of the challenge them really. Like, but man, you know, when put in, I know nothing for Can't shouldn't do him this. No. Shouldn't do him this. So when the man went say, man did this, man never make a mistake for the way man do, and it'll work up to now. Family court just shut down. Gun court shut down. Where you say family? Yeah. The others, yeah man, that's me done. Yeah man. Now I say, me soon send you. So this is the problem now. Me soon send the ball. Yeah? Let me continue this.
Yeah. Time for the break. But there you go. These are some of the things we could talk about this morning, starting with this message. Why this obnoxious guy, Abka, stop bombarding Jamaicans with comedy politics. That's from Fernandez. All right.
Fernandez said this obnoxious guy, Phish Edless, I bombarded Jamaica with comedy politics. Can't comedy. That's comedy. In full of shit, never ban and run out. I remember Bolo, remember them shoot Bob Marley, not Bob, but they shoot Twitter too. And Dan Taylor. Dan Taylor get 5 shots for it. Yeah, them from the activity do it, you know. And the one of them with the front line, that's why Queenie and the one of them for go to prison. I don't respect them in the shit, you know. I don't respect Coogan either. I don't respect none of them when you see 1, 2 family. I don't respect them. Them evil. I don't just say I go alone. Dead man, I don't respect him neither and shit. You can't do people like this. Evening time burn down. Remember, you know, them can't sit down if you want about them, let me tell you everything. Yes. Them terrible man. And then one another step. Me ask push program and policy man they come with where they do and destroy the place. None. CIA work through jail P will mash up the place. None, not one man the policy. The place. A matter of fact, the policy, yeah, with the policy we man they use, we tell we go to school and then health system free and everything, and the one that they talk about it, the backside levy and the fourth purchase. Yeah? Yes. The fourth purchase and that. See? You understand? Yeah. No, it's the last. No, but yeah, this Bolo. So, what man they doing a Bolo? Hear this. What man they do? You can't get rid of nothing at all. What man they do right there because the people them are live off. Even right now, from Andrew going, you know. Remember, I had to take over $100 billion from housing trust, you know. Man, they talk about self-reliance. The housing trust is a self-reliance place. And it's not in Port Authority. Them place to listen. Port Authority are mandatory, you know. Well, sit down back, government, and it make it one money, don't it? And the government about pump money in the Port Authority. Port Authority, government make money from it. Housing trust, government self-reliance, the man talk about, and then put them in. And it's even the FSC, the man them go read. Yeah, and take away $500 million a day. I participate in. Them benefit, hey, and right now the insurance I go. Self-reliance in talk about. And it balance itself and the government have to pump money in it. National Housing Trust a mandate to. National Water Commission. The app pay my mandate to, you know. When you have this so I'm going to change up something I wrote in a mandate. So the thing them they gone court a mandate, you know. And when them come in and they CIA and them go with the foolishness, they say, gun court and do after a gun court. And deal with them case. Yeah? A mandate. Yeah? The maternity leave where you never used to get fired. A mandate, you know? Yeah. See? Remember play back the part about Simon. I'm going to put back to something to you, by the way, you know. And then put up bunting. He put up bunting. I'm not going to read my book before put it up. Hold on. Continue.
Yeah. Time for the break. But there you go. These are some of the things we could talk about this morning, starting with this message. Why this obnoxious guy, Abka, stop bombarding Jamaicans with comedy politics. That's from Fernandez. All right, and the messages are coming in thick and fast. All right, let's hear what you have to say. Hopefully, we'll get some calls that either contradict Simon's views or support or give other solutions, other possibilities. Where should we go? Because it's all good and well for just say, oh, we don't want to do this and we don't want to go back there. But what do we do? How do we improve the lot? A friend of mine said, I got where I am by working my rear off. The suggestion being, and he's a legal luminary, the suggestion being that the housekeeper in the hotels doesn't work her rear off, that the teacher doesn't do likewise, that the nurse doesn't do likewise. But in a low-wage economy, those people cannot benefit and cannot have cars and homes and so on because the salary doesn't support it. The housekeeper, I'll give you a clue. I just mentioned what a state minister earns, 18 million. The average entry nurse and entry teacher, if them end up with 2 million a year, they're lucky. Those who work in the retail trade, it's about $1 million and change a year. This is according to data. So, I'm sorry, but if I'm earning 18 million a year, I can afford to not be too concerned about the state doing more to support people who are on minimum wage, and even if you're not on minimum wage, low wages. And you know how you do that? You do that by providing a proper, cheap, if not free education system. You do that by providing the best health care you can provide, free of cost in your clinics and so on. Because them people who say, no, them social things, they can't work, we can't afford them. They don't use those systems. They go to private doctors or them go foreign. And them send them picnic go foreign. They don't use the facilities that exist here. So why would they care about whether you invest enough? Public transport. So that people don't have to deal with the stress of not knowing whether the bus is going to turn up on time, etc. A well-managed public transport system that can make a profit, but is supported by the government because it's required. But you think the legal luminary business about how the bus system run? No, that's not his concern. His concern is he worked his rear off and he must reap the benefit. And you must do the same. But the donkey say the ground a level argument.
Man. So we have read people from Asia now. Explain things. Because no man no come tell you when you are spread dead. A slave work that. When you look on the economy and you look on, look on where you go through now and everything, the price of living. Slave. We talk about, we raise to 15 or 17,000, so we double the minimum, you disrespect the people. I'm saying because I call your attention to it, and then you wear back how much away you could buy back in the days and wait for it now. When you raise this, minimum wage should be less than 60,000. That means the average worker supposed to get out 300, 400, 500 to pay from a pay 60,000, out of that per week. You must get out 800,000 for your work. Yeah. You understand? So for a month, you must say, remember, make a 240,000, go give me minimum wage. Out of that, you must get out 800,000. No, Phish Edless I get 1.5 million for doing nothing. Just push out this garbage. Taxpayers' money. And some of the ministers get more, 20 million. So 18 or 1.5, 12, just bust not 12. Yeah? 12 months. 1.5 million that. You might get per month. Yeah? And we want to come and take 1.5 million in per month. Right? Yes. See? So in can you imagine? You are work for the whole year, long time before this biggest piece of shit going on. And when you are work, you even do one and pay, do after one I pay for the whole year. But him I tell you shit. and you don't have, remember, you know, a healthy nation, a wealthy nation. Remember, if you stick right now, you can't even pay for your scan. You can't even pay for your doctor visit. You have to go public or one of them places, or any one of them. And you sit up on a chair for 5 days. People get stroke or stump for nearly 2 weeks. Till then dead. The virgin mark dead. You have to stroke him off, and them have him sit down for a couple of days. And when them go for him see him on a bed, him dead. Him dead. Him end up dead. Put a look at stethoscope on you and this thing. Never used to happen about the days. Yeah. You understand? Never used to happen in the days. But this is what them do. At Simon good. Me like this. Some more people have asked. But you know, them wicked. Them team up with the CIA and kill out so much of our people. And bury the entire and shoot bad man and shoot with Manley and shoot Dan Taylor. And then come and talk about the 70s. Where happened in the 70s, yo? Oh, the there. Oh, the big rich man, them are working the CIA, them too. Yeah. So we pick up for them. And what people them staff. You are get money now. You're a millionaire. Out of nothing at all. You're born you. Can the rich and greedy for people? Yeah, this is what you You have a piece of shit. You can't pick up for these people. People them are suffer. That in rather go down and give them a handout and can get vote. This make it terrible. Move that out of my way. So I say, the guy have my play blues. I have a play blues. Mama put up. I say I can't put up a little nasty shadow. Mama put him up. Yeah, Mama put him up. Mama put him up. This when name. Let me see this. I want to put up a one here. Mama put it, yeah. Mama put up PUMS. Mama take out something with PUMS. PUMS. Boy, you're after, you know. So PUMS, you look at PUMS, so when you're not going to believe it, Mama put him on my screen. Hold on. PUMS, where are they? Don't take PUMS. Go on PUMS. Go put PUMS on my screen. Yes. This is what I say PUMS put up people. Put him on my screen. I want to read it. PUMS, I can't say we have to lie for you, you know. We only have to we the tab lie. So I want to read what I put up on my screen. Yeah, Pum? Yes. Yeah, PUMS. I'm put up this. So PUMS, don't go put up this now. With Draz Davis, an interview, Bunting. Yeah, I'm going to put up this. Hold on. Hold on. Well, here we're Bunting, I say, yeah, so. And then I'm going to put up Draz Davis. You know, see that? Him put him up in a look here. Look here. Me take a screenshot of this. I mean, I think them. I want to play it. I understand. So, I'm talking about Draz Davis. I talk about Michael Manley. See, I put it up. We don't realize people, when we stop, don't do the interview with no Draz, don't thinking Draz Davis. You want bleach and blue. You remember blue, right? Maybe not play wash with blue and then it, you know, yes. Then look, yeah, and bleach and the blue and make it look white. You want bleach and blue. Yeah? Hold on there. This can come up. I play with my man. I'm going to want my thing come up. Okay, good. All right. So see it now. I'm going to open this a little bit more. So PUMS, since I didn't put it up, PUMS put it up. PUMS, original audio. And it has something up there, sir. It that left in the PMP, and so Mark is trying to remove that as a weakness. Me have a look at when that's up at the top first. Let me see when that's up at the top. Let me see when that's up at the top. Let me see yourself. That's all this is. There is a difference between a social democracy and a democratic socialism. You're big and dunce and fool, you're fuck. Democratic socialism is social democracy, piece of shit. You ever hear, hey, no, you can't tell me second dunce PUMS. Democratic socialism is social democracy. I want to him. Eh? So them are dealing with the social issue in Jamaica is a democratic country, you know. Yeah, democracy. Right? And them deal with the social issue with the people them were going around. Or it will be different PUMS. Eh? The party that oppose and threaten to discontinue a state-run bus program for rural students, say, student, so they could use funds for a else effective private system. It's claiming democratic socialism. It is just internal politics and has no so on. So all you are talking about democratic socialism, now you born Michael Manley, your piece of shit, and yet still you want the state to run a bus. I want to say to me, this is what Manley used to do. Yeah? I want to say so. When we say it makes sense. Put up this. So the party claims a democratic socialism. I know, yeah, them are fight against the school bus system. You see, them have it both ways, people. Eh? The school bus don't go nobody now fight. You could go take 1 point, go fight the 1.4 bill. Why never buy some new bus? He don't panic him at them and the party, him say them Mark Golden and Bunting, them want to make it stay in a private bus run it. But the government have money this time for run anything. When man did I run them thing ya? Eh? Who wanna say man can them there? Eh? I bet a private man run the bus and then we get back free education and free health then. Eh? Man come out from a thing and move, you know. Go away, man. You see them confused? In the habit more say them come and them not come. You see, no me I said them confused. He want to claim now say social democracy and democratic socialism. You know, you notice we call it capitalism. Because we are dealing with ism now. Democratic, you know, capitalism. Because the democratic country, they have a vote and have 2 party and thing, you know. So when we say capitalism and democratic capitalism. So you have democratic socialism. Where we have to, hey, the poor them forget more and you can't just take the one of the pie. And treat them unfairly. Yeah, them forget educated and them can't afford it. You have to have something where the rich pay a little more. Enough people in the US believe that too. Yes. You understand? The rich pay a little more because they make money out of the same place and they pile up billions of them can't even use. Them just want to even add to them name. Remember them can't eat more than what them can't eat, you know. No man, they can't eat more than what you can't eat. So if me come with a 100-pounder chicken and 100-pounder, oh, you can eat it. Your belly don't permit you to eat these things one time. But you gotta have these things and when you nibble on it now, you dash for the rest in a garbage heap. Meanwhile, somebody can't even buy chicken back. They must feed flour and butter. That's wrong. And them are work for you, know. But them can't buy oxtail or a piece of goat. And you know, there's nothing wrong with that. Them are work. The reason why they not have the business, they never have the starter. But them have the idea and them use for them idea. Find your business and get you well tailored. Sit down. You're a fat cat, it's wrong. It's wrong in the world. And when you're dead, you can't carry it with you. It's wrong. It's wrong. Eh? Make me hear what Bruce said the other day. And the one of them agree with Bruce. But me hear what Bruce said if you sound like Michael Manley. Yeah.
Wow. We are facing an even more pressing and unnecessary challenge at this time. We are an island state, but our borders do not define our circumstances. How we live, how we govern ourselves, how we progress is determined to a great extent by the environment in which we live and how we are able to operate within that environment. That environment has always been challenging, testing our mettle, testing our fortitude. We went through 45 years of the Cold War, when we became the bully beef in the sandwich that the two superpowers were fighting over. Well, what is happening now is something that I've never witnessed before. We had to adapt to globalization with a set of rules different from what we were accustomed to. The preferential treatment that we used to enjoy when we exported our sugar and bananas to Europe, that was banned. The protective tariffs and subsidies that we used to balance the playing field for our local manufacturers and farmers, those had to come down so that foreign goods could more easily enter our market.
No, you see that when they say him say them come down when they not notice. And I can move it, you know, and Andrew before him leave. You remember I'm saying about move it because this and that and then move it. That's why it's true, that's why the people them have a glove. So our country down, Manley will not do this. At this them forgot about. Wouldn't even realize, remember when Nigel said that it have to move because you know when sign up and them thing there. This is what Andrew do. So the man them have 500 bag of onion. We have so much restaurant in Jamaica, so much hotel. 4 million people are come. They have to eat each year. Onion used to prepare meals. You know them this spice up this onion used everywhere. Jerk chicken, this onion there everywhere. They use. But them eat cloth 500 bag. 500 bag. Me not say 1,000 bag, you know, but say 500. Me not say 10,000. About 100,000 bag, 500 cloth. They move that. They ban him just say, he might tell you some things where the JP now tell you good. That's why sometimes when you listen to music, you know, them eat him, you know, like a queenie because you get the pussy out of the bag. You have to notice it. And that them to go on pan. So him tell you say, the thing them were used to go in a Europe, them ban. Them ban. And now, he might tell you, say the tariff, we have to take them down. So they can send things from our market freely. This could not be under Michael, man. They done the place. And them have done the farmer, done everybody with him. And then him come down at all like Michael, man. Phish Edless can't tell me what man they do. Because of the JLP fight, shoot back Manley with a Manley than Taylor, they kill them. Because Manley said, what rate? And I said, no. The people them forget a piece of the pie. You think we could have stand up here and tell about the 70s and pick up for the big boy them are greedy? Eh? We get free fucking land, but chop the land and nobody knows get none. And our people slave and not get nothing. And then I stand up for equal rights, man. You see? We have to stand up for that, man. We're not garbage with them, man. Like they can't move it and see by one. Make those go and talk. You hear me talk like Manley, make him go and talk.
We had little to say in the design of this new framework, but we muscled up to face the new challenges. After all, we had to grow up one day, and we had to learn to stand on our own 2 feet.
You know, me laugh. Big mama, them people and them can't say it to them. At this man did it do. You know, bow. This is what man did exactly that do. And them couldn't devour you if you never have people on the ground and devour we. And we have to put black on the road because them are walking and drop letter and them want 20 man and 20 woman. You understand? Yeah. See? This bad. You see this? Yeah? Himself, you know what to grow up. So I look at boy, I know what to go stand up our feet. Because at times we stand up our feet. Because I tell them, because I tell them take back the place and give back to them. You can't depend on no country. Self-reliance, the first thing. And self-discipline. But them rather burn down the house to get power and then destroy it like what I do. The JLP. Every time PMP build it back. I know for them to then spin out bogus thing, you know, 18.5 years will build the infrastructure again. You know, the telephone, the highways, and the car, the youth car association, the park program, the JSIF, the tourist enhancement fund where build up everything where they put in right there, so 18.5. I don't see how to put them in. And abuse. 18.5 years between Manley, Patterson, and Portia. And them still not learn. You know, how you two one bag of garbage. Because you not done. So learn, man, and humble yourself. You want better for Jamaica, I think you could have. Hey, let me tell you something. Let me tell you about me still, you know. Yeah, man, there. But you say if them did go and go, you never hear me come and say, because me not stay so, you know. Me not do band, me not go do a bandul and draw a card pandem when them not do something, you know. Because they aspect propaganda, me not make you ask you like Andrew Woney, so me have to like. Me have to dissect the thing and put up the thing them and dissect it. Me know that. Me know that. I'm not going to do that. When me talk, it have to be an accident. Someone will come up and come to something and boost and say, me a play and say it. And then me dissect it. With Andrew, the same thing. Me can't fall and put garbage out like them. Me live through that. And me a Phish Edless fellows, but not even Gilbert. Gilbert told on him. But he might run out and chat bullshit and get 18 million now. He chat bullshit, 1.5 million per month. For doing nothing. But chat garbage and just walk up and down just to get free money. Free money and put him about state minister. No, the fuck him, I do. If he get away, he's a piece of shit. Yeah. Continue. We don't have no data and other people them could have run through that too. Eh? This bad. See? Continue. What?
But to our amazement, and just as we were learning how to navigate this new landscape, that global order has become topsy-turvy. Established rules are being discarded. New rules are being handed down, not after discussions and negotiations, but by social media posts at 2:30 in the morning when most of us are asleep. The long discredited Monroe Doctrine has been reincarnated. New tariffs were imposed on us in January of last year. Tariffs on the goods that we export to America. Although America enjoys a huge trade surplus with Jamaica.
So even those come and tell about the surplus, I'm tell you, because the surplus is huge. Because we America like 2.7 billion, deficit of 3 billion, and then we have a couple hundred million, like 300 million, and by from we have 2.8 billion from them. Surplus huge, but we get tariff. And we talk about it. We talk about it. Just Bruce talk about it. The whole of this is what we point out. I'm not point out them a long time. We look back on the show, them I point out a long time. Yeah? Point out. But Andrew have nothing to come out and talk. Nothing. No cops. If the sit down and stop with the man say, you talk, I'm afraid, man, they won't do this. A matter of fact, we'll have more way now. To some people dumb. No, not all the CIA do in the 70s to our country. Me couldn't back that. When you hear liberate about that guy, them dumb, they want them to charge for treating them as shit. You couldn't be American and do that to America. Them, you know, say, I'm treating that when them grab it. You betray them country, I play it this morning. You know, say I trouble that. Anybody else is a country like that, them is shit. Yes. Yeah, man. Continue. Continue.
What we export to the United States is less than a quarter of what we import from the United States. We have been ordered to send home the Cuban doctors and nurses who have played such a big part in keeping our health services going.
So, in my play the role of Michael Manley too. Because that this are everything. So, Manley did do something bad in the fucking 70s. I want to send Bruce and Bruce, you say what Manley did I say. And I show the evilness. And then we have those. What Manley do wrong? We make uno JLP do this to a country. When they wrong, taking the guns and thing and kill with people without skin power. And then, and what hurt me, you know. And I like the place polish off now. The man them put it on food stamp, them ox the place. See, I ran them around the Bruce them did it too. Ox the place. Bruce did it too, you know. Peralta, Red Rat, and Ryan Peralta on the way. Them did it. Boomvar's father they did it too, you know, Douglas. They did it too. Remember we can't just tell one who did it, you know. He did it. Red Rat did it too, man. Yapson. He did it. Michael with them they did it too. And Queenie. The one of them did it. See? They were there. And I don't see my room. Them did it. When them up the place, them are part of this. In the 80s, and I don't see how them did it. Maybe just make them make it clear so we know. Listen, believe tune on the did it. And at them same one and put in and we look them to a minister. Because them say just keep them down and keep them down and we can't say anything. Because Jamaica is a society where them live by hearsay. You know? A man just hear him when they just say, boy, load some jump a fence and load some not two youth over there, so load some go block the bank and they hear them run with it. Just one load some. Nothing no go say. You know? But them love gossip and things. They can't do that. But do my thing, them keep member. You have to keep it between you and us. Can't do that. I remember, you know, when them, I'm in a mind, you know, because I give them you up. You turn them run with them lies, me I can't tell me can't do them anything. With them feel lie and them up to me can't do them anything. Yes, can I catch them on them lies, I can flap them with them lies. So me no mind. But I will not do that lie. Nah do it. When you come out the book, me nah do not have lie. Nah do it. See? So him now coming at all like Michael Manley now. And I tell you the hardship for Jamaica got through and the bow. And they can't send in them thing anytime. That's why that Jamaica will never live up like this. And John no man. And the little boy, I'm not buying it, I'm a little boy. I'm a little boy, I'm not buying it. Yes, you're right. See? Because them thing away for the court against something, them after the strip, the court against, you know. In 2026, no cold bar now going on like this, man. 2026, you must come out and stand up and talk like a man. So if you are prime minister, you can't chat for the people. That means you will sink them slavery again. Yeah? And like man do fight out the thing, you know, and then you run another thing about the 70s. Well, Uno are part of the 70s. Uno try to overthrow man and try to kill my Bob Marley. And black on evening time. Uno part to do it. By CIA influence and the CIA them do it themselves. But them, members of them. Continue. Countries
and companies that do business with Cuba run the risk of incurring severe penalties. We are being forced to contribute to the strangulation of the Cuban people who have helped us in so many ways.
So, but last thing the Bruce come and tell me, because this time I do. And this time doing in the 70s. So when at this, the Bruce can get up. Tell the prime minister, he might get old and it knock in and brain. That him can come out and talk. Yeah? And I tell you, because we have to help in the strangulation. Them strangle in the 70s. Man do not do nothing wrong, I know, you know. Not even one wrong the man make. Yeah, and about that, about the backside. So when them see cast shot, then what them do? Them label upon something. Can't go to the backside and go and take him out, you know. Who is him for go trouble one thing and then I take too much money? All right, but I deal with him case. And then he might tell the clinic them, so no, we never pay the people them better, you know. Them don't even have clinic, much just not at all, and them don't. We can't afford to do this. Backside levy, we never pay the more to, you know. And them say it in a tax, we never pay the more. Them people that have to take care of them. Them have to have proper houses. Yeah? Them have to have proper houses. Them have to be staff. And that's why I see them come attack him. And about those Cuba, what have you, them know man, they declare that long time. We're not communists. Non-aligned movement. And them say it a million times. And you know, see move, you know, not communist, nothing. They seem stand up for Africa and tell the third world country, them and farm the same kind of thing they like with them farm with OPEC. With the backside, and I say, no, pay over for things. It get them vexed. Yes. Good calling giving, yeah, it man. This is the other day. Yeah, man, I eat. Yeah. Continue, please. Yeah. So I'm going to tell them I'm forced to send over the nurses and doctor. And hear them talk about, we don't this no. Him tell it to them force, him tell it the truth. That is where I like tough and they not tell them what you know. Him say you force way. And I them I help way. See, I never heard, and I said before, and them are corrupt the most, the bigger portion of the doctor, the nurses, and the teacher them are left. Brain drain, and we have more people left than we are talking about the 70s and them not talk about it. But we have more people, if you have more, listen, if you have about 1,500 teachers leave, it does drop the other day to like 1,100 every year from him going. And the teachers that. No, they are talking about 15 or more than that because they're not doing the right figure. But at 15,000 if you look on 10 years. The amount of noise, 500 or more nurses leave every year, plus the doctors them. So you have like put them around 700, more than that, to 800 leave. So you have to 7 or 8,000 leave for the 10 years. Plus you have some police leave, go get some job and them just married and leave over 300 or 400 of them and leave and plus water too. It named brain drain. So you have more than 20,000 people leave and them, and different from the one them when you in a them category about them about a business and them left. Them do a poll the other day and 54% of them want to leave in that 3 years time. Can't manage Jamaica. Yeah, and that's true. It's there. It's right there. Yeah, it's there. But what them do, them just tell lie. So you have more people leave Jamaica than we in the 70s and land Jones. By far. And you notice true like everyday life, you know, say it, but me, you notice me drop the data and show them. So every time them talk, and you still Jamaica nice. The man want to build a park. You can't park. Yeah? The one man I go for museum. You can't go in a museum. So in a park and go in a museum, that get job. Eh? You build them plaza business around the place. You can rent a place to sit in there. That's too expensive. Anything over 2 million, you have 2 million for people renting there. Yes. I be a garbage man not doing nothing. See? Continue. Play.
It was Cuba that donated to us the Jose Marti Technical High School, the G.C. Foster College, the Garvey Maceo High School, and the Anchovy High School. But Cuba is not the only friend we have that we are being told not to keep company with anymore. China has become a major investment partner in Jamaica. It has invested in major highways that have significantly improved our transportation and logistics. You can now get from Caymanas to Ocho Rios in less than an hour. The long underdeveloped parishes of St. Thomas and Portland have been opened up because of the South Coast Highway that was funded through a concessionary loan from China. Try buying a piece of land in St. Thomas now and see what you're going to have to pay. China invested in our sugar factories when they were on the verge of closure. It is investing now, as we speak, US $500 million in the revitalization of the Alpart alumina plant. It is heavily involved in the modernization of our port facilities to enable us to better take advantage of our strategic position on a major trade route. But we are now being told that we must run the Chinese out of Jamaica because they are saddling us with unsustainable debt. And they are threatening America's influence in Latin America and the Caribbean. The Chinese have never made any indecent request of us or imposed any condition that could be a concern to the United States. What we owe China today is neither a burden nor a debt trap. It is less than 4% of our total debt. And it comes at a concessionary rate of between 2 and 3%. You can't get rates like that anywhere else. On the other hand, what we owe to American bondholders who represent the greatest portion of our debt comes at a cost of between 6 and 8%. China thinks long term. It sees potential that investors in countries like the US ignore because it looks too risky. And China put its money where its mouth is. China's stock of investment, listen to this, the stock of investment that China has in Jamaica now stands at $2.1 billion US dollars. America's stock of investment in Jamaica is a fraction of that, 276 million. But we are being told that we must drive the Chinese out of the country. The most controversial issue that has arisen in this new hegemonic environment is the requirement for Jamaica to accept third country nationals, third country deportees, not Jamaicans, who we are obliged to accept because Jamaica is their home, but persons from other countries that America wants to get rid of. In our case, we are required to accept up to 10,000 third country deportees. We are told they will come at a rate of 25 every 2 weeks.
But Andrew, them did that. Remember, I'm going now, former Prime Minister. But Andrew, them is a lie and them want to pan down. He might tell you what happened. Yeah. Continue.
We have been told that no more than 10 persons will be in Jamaica for more than 30 days. But we have been told nothing about the specific arrangements as to how they will move on and where they will go.
So those come out and talk. They told nothing about them or where them will go. Them just set them and do this. But yet still they make a big talk in the other day like I like it that tell. when at that them say, the blues can repeat what I'm having him know it. Everything with them have him know. From a Prime Minister. Continue.
And reason with me. If it is the case that they will spend no more than 30 days in Jamaica, why go to the trouble of sending them there? Why you don't keep them here for the 30 days? And then you send them on to...
But Bruce, that's all I mean now. So when you get the trouble, if they must stay for 30 days, I know to send them straight to the yard. So that keep them for the 30 days when they must stay in Jamaica and then send them straight to the yard. Because that cannot be true. It cannot be true. Do that all right, me now. See? No, you have to be critical thinker. Do so you have to kill the show hard, man. See? You have to be critical thinker. Because if you say them are going to stay, you want to send 10,000. And every week you send 25. Every 2 weeks. And there's 30 days. 30 days that when they're going to keep over. 30. You know, can you have them already? You have them more for more than 30 days back up. So just send them straight to the yard. You understand? Continue.
Wherever they are to go. It just does not make any sense. Or is it that America's unspoken expectation is that when they arrive in Jamaica, they're going to park here? In Jamaica.
So yeah, that's the problem. No, lie. But that's the plan for park. Can't remember the guy said it, you know. Rubio said it. But them arrangement don't make no sense. Because you couldn't come back somebody for 30 days. Just a 30-day catch. You have a plane, them in a plane. By the time you Finland, if them go next over El Salvador, you'd have reached there. If you start this 10 to come to Jamaica, just take the next 10 minutes after it and you reach. You go 600 miles per hour. You reach. It does not make no sense. Yeah? Continue. Call them on them for park. I should go stop it. Continue.
I will now have the burden of caring for them. We're not alone in what is going on. 7 Caribbean countries have had to sign similar agreements. And I beg you, don't ask me to believe that these agreements were entered into joyfully. It doesn't make sense. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, when he visited Jamaica in March of last year, is only the latest highly placed American official who has boasted of the strong, long-standing bond of friendship between Jamaica and the United States. But let us be very clear. What is being done to us is not friendship. Imposing arbitrary tariffs on us when we are struggling to make our goods competitive in a difficult market is not friendship. Dictating to us who we must do business with is not friendship.
So now the same thing I think that Manley that them you can't dictate to it. Okay.
Forcing us to accept foreign deportees when we are struggling to look after our own people. That is not friendship. True friends don't abuse your friendship. They don't make unreasonable demands of you. They should be there to help you out. Holding a gun to your head and insisting that you must be reasonable and do things their way That is not friendship. To a great extent, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, when he visited Jamaica in March of last year, on us when we are struggling to make our goods competitive in a difficult market, is not friendship. Dictating to us who we must do business with is not friendship.
When you hear him talk now, and Michael Manley say you cannot dictate to whom you talk to, our old friend. At the same thing, Bruce said no. Bruce said what we are saying. Andrew will say this, I'm a lot years. And I be a lies and PR them do, and then I post and I talk bullshit. You see what man that? And then can't even talk. It's gonna be Michael Manley. Yeah, country weak. Yeah, Bruce I tell you, you know. But if you listen to we not reception right now. Yeah, continue.
Forcing us to accept foreign deportees when we are struggling to look after our own people. That is not friendship. True friends don't abuse your friendship. They don't make unreasonable demands of you. They should be there to help you out. Holding a gun to your head and insisting that you must be reasonable and do things their way, that is not friendship. The United States has put us under severe stress. That's not what friends are for. There are many at home and abroad who are outraged at what is taking place, who are incensed at the bullying that is being meted out to us, who are angry that we have not pushed back, that we haven't stood up like President Lula, who declared that Brazil's destiny is for Brazilians alone to determine without foreign interference or subservience. But we must pause for a moment to understand who we are and to understand the pickle that we are in. Brazil is a large country. Brazil provides a market of $67 billion for American exports. We are not in that league. We struggle to find markets for our goods. The US market accounts for a half of all of the goods that we export. If our exports to the US were slapped with a 50% tariff, our manufacturing sector would fall apart and thousands of persons would be out of work. An airline ticket from Philadelphia to Montego Bay attracts federal taxes of around $65 US. Bear in mind that America accounts for 70% of the tourists who come to Jamaica. But if one morning you were to hear that the tax on airline tickets from the United States to Jamaica will now carry an additional tax of $200, you know what that would mean to our tourism industry? Instead of paying an extra $200 to come to Jamaica, they're not go somewhere else. And again, thousands of hotel workers would be out of work. Remittances from the United States to Jamaica amounted to more than $2.5 billion last year. Since January of this year, the United States has imposed a 1% tax on remittances. What if we decided to be feisty And it was announced that remittances to Jamaica will now attract a tax of 25%. Or maybe discontinued entirely. You know what that would do to us? You know what that would do to the thousands of families who depend on those remittances to survive? Our correspondent bank relationship. Those arrangements are tied to the US financial system. We can't do business with the rest of the world without those transactions passing through New York. What if those arrangements were cut off? Jamaica would be marooned. We couldn't do business with anybody. What if companies that want to do business in Jamaica were told that if you go near Jamaica at all, you're going to be penalized? What would that do to the flow of investments?
Remember more goes to because those after the attack, somebody gets you now put and ask them what if. They make them say that me use that pan him because him said so I can use it pan them. But me I try to show you boost I tell you say well Jamaica struggle and this and that and the Cuban and the 10,000 with them deny. But him can't come and say it yourself. And you know I'm not got to come back and say yeah. Yeah. And you know have the guts see and boost out and tell us well you know I feel about not do this. See? Remember play boost as when say us about Manley, remember say by this.
To Jamaica. Michael Manley. I have absolutely no doubt that he meant well. His passion for the upliftment of the poor, for economic equality and justice, and for protecting the rights of the working class, those things can never be questioned.
So, Phish Edless a question me. Phish Edless questioning these things. We should get old enough so him start talk up the kimono and what have you. Eh?
When he came to power in 1972, unemployment was recorded at 24%.
When he came to power, 24%.
Stark poverty stared you in the face, especially in the overcrowded settlements that had marooned in the corporate area and major town centers. Populated mainly by people who had migrated from the rural communities in search of a piece of the industrialization pie.
Okay.
The trickle down wasn't trickling down fast enough.
Okay.
The rural folk hardly fared any better as they became casualties of absolutely no doubt that he meant well. Michael Manley. I have absolutely no doubt that he meant well. His passion for the upliftment of the poor, for economic equality and justice, and for protecting the rights of the working class, those things can never be questioned.
But Bill, some people in your party now question so Michael Manley match up this. You hear him just look about it. Can be questioned, right? Yes. Yeah. Yes. Maybe I'm going to recall, but my recall is a big thing.
When he came to power in 1972, unemployment was recorded at 24%. Stark poverty stared you in the face, especially in the overcrowded settlements that had marooned in the corporate area and major town centers, populated mainly by people who had migrated from the rural communities in search of a piece of the industrialization pie. The trickle down wasn't trickling down fast enough. The rural folk hardly fared any better as they became casualties of the precipitous decline of the export agriculture sector, sugar and bananas. Inequalities in income and standards of living were an embarrassment. This provided fertile ground for discontent.
So you might tell you when Manley came in, remember the JLP government take it from 24%, this everything we might tell you, and what Manley do. But not for them to mention the CIA. Anyway, I can't.
Must come. And a yearning for change, power for the people. Considerable effort had been made to provide opportunity creating and social protection programs. 50 junior secondary schools were built to expand access to secondary education.
Was junior secondary school 50. Even put letter 50 himself, 50 maybe. 50 bill. Okay, continue.
Several trade training centers were opened. Cash transfers were provided through the Old Age Assistance Program to help indigents.
You might tell the thing that my man do. So what man do bad? I still ask them, you know, stand up against America, capitalism, and say, you can't tell me my friend, and to the backside, and you attack him, and then the JLP help attack him, and then you come and say, destroy a place. When I want to destroy the people, man, kill them out, and shoot Batman, and shoot Tutamal, and shoot Dan Taylor, and then turn bone on even time, man, kill too much people. Forgetting the power and then ox the place. Everything recorded, everything documented. And then still spell propaganda again. Come on, play.
And the national insurance scheme was established. Special incentives were offered to investors to locate their factories outside of the corporate area in order to spread the employment opportunities. But these were not nearly enough to staunch the discontent. Michael Manley was the perfect champion for a situation such as this. Many people hold fast to the view that the period of the 70s is when Jamaica's economic journey was derailed, and that is the root cause of our anemic performance since then. I believe that this is oversimplistic, a too convenient way of finding someone or something to blame.
One thing with him though, him more real than Andy, you know, to find someone or something to blame. And then I use that example. Me use the example already to say, but look on Germany. World War II, World War I, World War II. Germany had the powerhouse to each other and bring. Germany had the richest and the black. When you were black. Germany. Yeah? And you remember what happened to them? So when you come up and look people for blame and say, tell them right. Right. Yes. You can't tell me these things. Yes, I hear those conversations how she stop. Stop it river.
I believe that this is oversimplistic, a too convenient way of finding someone or something to blame. There is no doubt that in terms of the economy, that period set us back considerably. But there are countries that have suffered far greater calamities, including devastating and protracted civil wars, but have been able to recover and find a path to sustain growth. Many of those who boarded one of the 5 flights a day returned, even if their luggage was a bit lighter on the return journey. Lee Kuan Yew gave his assessment of Michael.
So even them in a man the time they return and yes to the place mash up. In a saga time. They return. And in true in return. Say I go ox the place. I say I look on Jamaica show 1984. Yeah? Continue.
Manley's adventure into socialism when he wrote, and I have references in the text which I believe will be circulated, when he wrote that on his second visit to Jamaica in April of 1975 to attend the Commonwealth Heads of Government Conference, he found that Manley, quoting him, presided over the conference with panache and spoke with great eloquence, but I found his views chaotic. He advocated a redistribution of the world's wealth. The policies of the government were ruinous. Thereafter, I read the news of Jamaica with greater understanding. End of quote.
Someone talk about the guy from Singapore. But when bandit it out from Monday and said, hey, they went to an app and I'll be with them getting up. No, not for redistribute. And this is the way for the week. And it never wrong. No people in the state and all over the place are beg for that redistribution of wealth. You can't have one man worth $800 billion, nearly $1 trillion, but he worth more than what the Caribbean worth to backside. I remember just a few places to them now for the nothing, you know. Money and make quantity of money. That didn't make no sense to me to backside. Him have money more than what he can live out. Him can just retire, leave the company, get away, but he want more. And then have more, you don't have it. If you have it, see it. Meanwhile, some people don't even have a cent to survive that evil. That them the evil and that a capitalistic mentality, you know. You know, yeah, free trade and then you sell your price and you do this. Do all the workers. Them can't tell you nothing, you know, you pay them what you pay them and you know, give them a raise and then you keep most of the profit. You never say split the profit. Remember what keep 25% and give them back 75%. You're not broke. You can't spend, your family can't live out the money. You think if you have $1 billion US, you can just turn it. Can you remember, you know, you have your house already, you have it. Oh, you have done it. And they just have sports, and you turn okay and all kind of things, and you just have sport and just can you have a plane, and the plane never has so much money. If you have 30 or 60 million for a plane out of $1 billion, you still have enough money. You buy a house and say, now put a you never have to buy a $20 million house. Even if you use 100 million out of that and say, this have to do everything, make my plane, my house, man. You still have 900 billion, you still have 900 billion more. You have $1 billion now, you have 900 million more. US. Oh, you have done that. If you just buy food and eat, if you don't do nothing else, you're good. See the way if you go dead. Just the interest alone now go upon it, you're good. Yeah? One man have now 800 billion. The other is 200 billion them value. Eh? Meanwhile, country have some little country now have none. Africa, when you put a couple of them and them value more than the GDP of Africa to backside, just fuck them. That's an embarrassment. That coming at slavery. I remember people at work put money in a them pocket now. And then them work at them just get a little touch. Eh? Man, they see the injustice in the country and say change up this. What the man do that? And now the boy these nasty a jump out for them. They just still them are the social program. I think the man they do. But then do it on a wider level, make everybody get a piece of the pie. No, you say Queenie, you say Agita go on somewhere who are the people that get them land tight and do this. Do one of these things our man do better. Say when they're at more than on the same one, kill out people, nearly kill Bob Marley and kill Vitamata and kill Dan Taylor. And kill the people that are even tired, all people, if you just get power. And kill how much? 889 people in 1984. And then ox the place. And then I tell a lie. Every document it's there. It's right there. Stop on the arms house. Anytime I come out and talk about Manley, ask them the question and run them away. Stop brainwash people and doing it. Even those who need enough time better than you. Because in acknowledge, I know, say, yeah, but Manley did that. I'm not talking like Manley now. Because it still come out better than you, still come out and I tell you, you don't have no bars, no nerves, no nuts. Nothing to come out and say, but US we can't do this. As them say, jump! Because we don't have some criminal within the government, you know. They have to jump! Can't do nothing else. And that bad. Me don't talk. I'm going to get some dinner to eat now here. Later, I am out. Me don't talk, man. Yeah, I am out. Bless up. Cool.
We in lump sum, we a beat it till the hammer burn. We now make them get in on them and again. None of them boy that we none of them. We in lump sum, we a beat it till the hammer burn. We now make them get in on them and again. None of them boy that we none of them. We alone some rise up the bomber do.
I'm not a Judas, them a backstabber. I'm my wife, and this straight beauty and glamour. No guy can walk to name me with no dagger. Me the heart of Mandela, but the mind of a Zama in the mold like a bull man. We send us the jammer. Lyrically inclined, be a metaphor, so no listen to lyrics line to line. Become a lyrical fighter. Put up in the rhythm, they'll want some more hole in a hater. Lyrically inclined.